Starting. All right. Welcome back. I had lunch. As you can tell from the time, it's been about an hour. And I'm already here at the Aporia and Labyrinthios for the next part of the stream. As we get into the Pandemonium Abyssos raids. I'll be honest, I've kind of not been liking raid content. Not that the raids are bad or at any point like or they're not enjoyable. I just don't like farming them week by week to get like, I guess, best in slot, you know? Because I'll be honest, I'm not really a mid-maxer. I like grinding as much as someone else, so that's why I'm really, like, I'm actually a little bit more excited for, Eureka, which will be tomorrow, so. I've decided it will be tomorrow, so. But I don't mind doing these. Of course, this is my first time doing these, so it'll be fun for the first week, but, like, the last tier, I just got really tired of doing those fights. So unless these fights are somehow more fun, which they will probably be at first, but we'll see how they go whenever I do them on a weekly basis. I'll give it like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'll be like, do I like doing these fights or not? Because some fights are just fun to do. Other fights, not so much. I didn't like the last tier. At least 2 of the fights were too hard, and I guess, I mean, everybody had their problems, like the bird, the phoenix. Everybody didn't like how it was an orange background and everything, so it was hard to see. That one took a little bit of getting used to, and it was kind of a harder fight than normal. So, let's see. It's an eyeball. An unwelcome visitor. Claudian's eyes are brimming with excitement of discovery. We'll be doing this as a dancer, too, because it's my highest eye level class right now. People knocking at doors. It's not my door, is it? No, it wasn't. Cause I don't know if that dude's gonna come back. The maintenance guy. Dragoon, I've made a breakthrough. After uncountable days and nights, I finally hearkened to the crystal's whispers, and I must say... Professor Claudian, where are your manners? While I understand all too well of your enthusiasm, I must remind you that even the most academically inclined prefer a composed recounting of events. Ah, yes, of course. My apologies, Dragoon. Please, being consumed by my research for so long, I am afraid I've quite forgotten how to engage in civilized conversation. I get that feeling. In that case, perhaps we should start from the beginning, when the crystal set adrift upon the ethereal tides, containing the memories of the party yet unknown. They cried out for deliverance from Pandemonium, where the ancients kept volatile creations under lock and key. You yourself witnessed the power devouring the facility from within, and the advent of the divine monstrosity, a wrought of mythic beast and powerful mage. Fortunately, your martial prowess and the combined magical talents of your companions, Themis and Erichonus. I forgot his name was Erichonus. Richthonus? maybe the E is silent, was sufficient to restore the order to the circles of Asphodelos. But the greater threat remained. In the depths of pandemonium, your presence yet stirs. Its intentions and identity shrouded in mystery. That is the issue at hand, is it not? Since you returned to us, we worked tirelessly to discern the nature of the crystal. In the process, we determined an anonymous etheric signature, which I believe arose from the memories stored within. Analysis of the pattern suggested a feeling of loss and yearning, specifically the yearning to be made whole, and indeed, ambient readings have revealed a faint but identical signature. This can only mean that another such crystal exists in our time. So, my friend, I must depart to search for it forthwith. By tracing the matching etheric signature to its source, I believe it will be a simple matter to find our crystal's twin. Professor, would this expedition be carried out only by us, or would Dragoon grace us with her protection? No. I'm afraid she has more pressing matters to attend to, my dear Rusinad. Namely, to seek out the secrets which lie nestled within Pandemonium, where it all began. From all that we have heard, it appears that time traversal from the Crystal Tower is not fluid. That is to say, one can but travel in predetermined intervals. It would be prudent to check in on occasion, in case there is any unanticipated changes. As for you, my loyal assistants, I would ask that you remain here and continue cataloging the ancient creations. That kind of makes sense. Time is always moving, so, like, of course, in a like, when the patches, like, come and go, someone who just does this newly can do one after the other, but he's saying that because we're traveling through time, we have to wait because we can't interfere whenever we want. Like, story-wise. I know we go back there on our own, and, like, if I need to go to Elpis to do, like, fate farming or whatnot, I can do that. But that's not canon that I went there. I only went there for the one time during the story, and then one time for Pandemonium. That was it. Like, canon-wise. You can't mean, do you intend to search for the crystal on your own? Oh, why, yes. That would be the most efficient use of resources, would it not? In fact, I have already commissioned a ship and pilot for that very purpose. I trust you to take good care of the laboratory in my absence. So I just have to go back and do what I do, I guess. I apologize for that somewhat abrupt departure. When progress is in sight, Professor Claudia intends to become blind to all else. Indeed, and he has been worse than usual. While I cannot fault him for his excitement, I do wish he would spare a thought for those around him. For reasons unknown, the crystal seems loath to be overheard. Much as it spoke only to you last time, none but the professor was able to catch the etherical yearning, which has served only to convince him that he can solve the puzzle on his own. Surely, after some time alone, he'll come to remember how valuable we are. The search for the crystal seems to be a simple enough matter. Let him have his adventure, and upon his return, I'm certain that he'll be back to his usual self. As for you, Dragoon, it might be best to return to Pandemonium, as Professor Claudian suggested. Speaking of which, I have a request of my own to make. Traveling to Pandemonium requires you to pass through Elpis, correct? There is something I would have you investigate in my stead. While those creations confined to the Pandemonium are considered to be failures, I doubt that's their whole story. Barring exceptional cases, they must have been under observation on Elpis before being consigned to their shackles. If we know anything about the ancients, it's that they would keep records of the result. Ah, brilliant. Delving into the records may shed light on the creatures the Dragoon has yet to encounter. If your theory proves correct, that is. While there is no guarantee, it certainly beats the current strategy of rushing forward blindly with only her strength to carry the day. Hey, for your own sake, as well as ours, please unearth what information you can. So basically, while he searches for that twin, we go back to Pandemonium. Gotta go back in time. Oh, hi guys. Themis, what's up? I didn't expect to meet you here, of all places. You see the records of Pandemonium's creations? Master Themis had just finished pursuing the very same. I should not be surprised that we both arrived at the same conclusion. Luckily, I have saved you the trouble of gleaning what information I could. So you know each other. I was dreading having to once again scour the archives, but perhaps instead I'll rest for a spell. If there's nothing else, I shall take my leave. Should we? For I have undone the warding sigil blocking the entrance to Abyssos. I came here merely to chase an idle suspicion while awaiting your return. Fortunately, while Pandemonium's protective wardings continued to be assailed by our own unknown foe, there have been no fluctuations so great as to make me doubt Richthonios' capacity to keep watch over Asphodelos while I'm away. He works diligently to master interment, that he might deliver his creations back to their cages by his own hand. I thought it best to give him time to hone his craft. And since fate has brought us both here, I would ask you to accompany me while I attend to another matter. More idle suspicions that I'd like to chase down. Rest assured, I shall not take long. I simply have a few questions to ask acquaintances of mine. Come, he has agreed to meet us near the Nessus of Pandemonium. Oh, wait. As I pondered our expedition into Pandemonium, I could not help but be mystified by how strongly the warders we encountered felt for La Habrea, whether it be for good or ill. Hesperos and Richthonios were two sides of the same coin. The former looked at him as a mentor and absolute devotion, and the latter looks up to his father with bald hatred. I do not expect a familiar such as you to understand this, but such extreme emotions towards a single individual are quite rare indeed. Naturally, I feel gratitude toward my mother and father, yet we are all equals in the larger picture of the star. This view is not unique to myself. It is more or less accepted as the way of things. By contrast, the researchers of Pandemonium seem to view La Habrea with a feeling of approaching obsession. Whether driven by love or hate, they have all been drawn to him. There are many other aspects of the facility, particular as I found troubling. Besides, I decided the best course of action would be to go straight to the source and pose my question to a member of the Words of La Habrea. My apologies to have kept you waiting, Master Themis. I understand that you're conducting an investigation of Pandemonium and wish to know more of its origins. I guess know of its origins. Indeed. In particular, I wish to know exactly why exactly Pandemonium was built directly under Elpis. The facility is overseen by the Words of La Habrea, after all. Why keep it so close to Elpis, whose governing body has no say in its day-to-day operations? At first, I thought it was simply a matter of convenience. Those creations, which were deemed failures by the researchers of Elpis, could easily be ushered into its new homes. Imagine my surprise when a trip into the archives revealed that many of the creations were sent from organizations beyond Elpis, including from the Words of La Habrea themselves. Given this, albeit limited information, I cannot but feel that the Academia Andir would be a more fitting locale. What does Elpis have that cannot be found there? These are fitting questions, and ones we have asked ourselves for many times in recent years. Alas, the nature of the Pandemonium's construction does not lend itself to relocation. When first it was built, circumstances weren't as they are now. As you surmise, the majority of the creations kept within Pandemonium were sent from Elpis. Yet as the years passed, interest changed. Failures in creations deemed too flawed even to submit to Elpis paradoxically grew and drew the attention of Pandemonium's researchers. That is quite the change, and in fact it almost runs counter to the facility's original purpose. Who is it that decides which creations are the subject of research? Master La Habrea. Such authority is reserved for the chief keyword, and he has taken it upon himself to step into that role. So if Pandemonium's resources were being misused, it would be under La Habrea's authority, correct? I don't know what you're suggesting, but the keywords also hold some sway within the facility. And not even Master La Habrea would be free from their scrutiny. They are duty-bound to report any irregularities as soon as possible. Although I admit of late their communication has been somewhat sporadic. We have recently received a report of one of the keywords stating that it was well within Pandemonium's halls. Really? Are you certain that Are you certain that a keyword sent it? Yes, of course. Our communication suffered a temporary obstruction, but I can assure you that the words did not did their due diligence in confirming the identity of the sender. Thank you. This information will be helpful to my investigation. That will be all for my prying. Then I should take my leave. While you are yet permitted to conduct your investigation freely, I must remind you that the warder's work is delicate, and it would be remiss to disturb them for any longer than is necessary. All is well. A blatant lie. And to that we can both attest. One of the remaining keywords is most certainly in league with the party behind this. Let us hurry. I know not why our adversary sent that report, but 'tis plain and that we must return to Pandemonium with haste. Oh yeah, I remember. It's over here. Excuse me. I cannot guess as to why the false report has arisen now, but it certainly bodes ill. As does the knowledge of our mysterious mastermind, and at least one more keyword is a puppet. Regardless, they have tripped our hand, and we would be remiss to leave Richthonios at the mercy of the machinations. So let's hope no harm has come to him. He's just practicing. Not quite. I've traced these sigils countless times, yet still I lack the strength to maintain the spell. And now time works against me. I can no longer be victim to my own ineptitude. What? Who goes there? Oh. Oh, that's the eye. There is something to be admired about such a single-minded effort, even if your methods leave much to be desired. You allowed this familiar to catch you unawares. Have you set your sights so high as to forget you walk upon the earth? I know this creature, a familiar of the Phoenix. But that monster is locked away. And that it is. In spite of the trouble I went to in freeing it, I might add. Begrudge me for addressing you this in an ill-fitting form, if you must. But with control of Asphidelios wrestled from my grasp, it is simply the best I can offer you. Hide if you will, but mark my words, I will find you and make you pay for the chaos you've sown. Now. There is no need for such hostility. A calm heart stays the course. The wisdom of La Habrea. Your father. And how would you know what wisdom he speaks? I've heard those words many times. The scolding of a tutor whose student struggled to grasp the most rudimentary lesson, seething with disgust. No. I've not told that to anyone, not even keyword Hesperos. That can only mean one thing. That still you insist on mocking me. Stop this farce, La Habrea! At last, you move to keep up. A pity that you remain behind nevertheless. Oh. What? As ever you are, always you fail to learn, fail to understand, fail to act. And though fate deigned to offer an escape, you remained here. You are bereft of magical prowess and common sense both. But you need not despair. Dull though it may be, you are yet indispensable to Pandemonium's great experiment. Ugh. There's the affection I remember. Tell me, did I ever once measure up to your expectations? You shall. Take pride in that, and rejoice to see your wish fulfilled. What? What wish? Come, and all shall be revealed. All this rage, this hatred, is but a consequence of ignorance. Your desire aligns more than you know, or our desires. What are you? Or what are you? Al? Uninvited guests has joined our reunion. It seems fortune no longer favors you. Do you think I have any interest in listening to your prattle, let alone bowing to your will? I am no longer a child, and my faith lies with those who have earned it. So these are the heroes who brought Hesperos low. Even as power divine flowed through his veins. It's plain that there are worthier subjects to contend with. Got him. Just what was that familiar after? Thank you. If you had not shown up, if you had shown up even a moment later, I shudder to think what would have become of me. There's something I must tell you. I know who's behind this. There's but one person who can hold thrall over familiar creation and keyword alike. Masks of the Father. So there can be but one conclusion. La Habrea was the driving force behind this chaos from the start. there is logic in that. There are fewer things. There are few with the wherewithal to even consider experimentation on such a scale. Let alone the capacity to create demigods from man and beasts with the rest of us none the wiser. Considering the magnitude of his work with the convocation and the words, his relatively minor role as chief keyword comes under little scrutiny, even as it provides him with the authority to wield dangerous magics. It may serve as a veil and mantle both. Red is so, like, in this light, red is so, like, neonish. The weird lighting in this place is pretty cool. Also the skin on my Vieira. Still, I find the notion hard to accept. The misdeeds perpetrated here could not have been done by the La Habrea I know. You have met him, yes? Do you think he is capable of this? It's still too early to say for certain. It truly is a puzzle with many missing pieces. Still, I see you do not deny outright the possibility of La Habrea is a man of few scriptures? I skipped that. That alone should be enough. But let me assure you, La Habrea holds nothing so dear as his own ambition. While he may not be the one to let emotion stand in his way of his mission, I cannot believe that there is no depths in which he would not stop. Although we met but briefly, the impression he left on me stands in stark contrast with the valuation. Though his methods are ever unorthodox, they seem guided by a firm understanding of what is just. There we go. Okay. There is one way to find out for certain. We delve deeper into Pandemonium and pull back the curtain on this mystery ourselves. Wise course. I would not deny that the truth, if I saw it with my own eyes, even if it was discomforting to behold. Then we must move forward with no excessive caution. And La Habrea, or whomever is behind this, has likely spread their tentacles into every corner of Pandemonium. We can safely assume that the other keywords won't greet us with open arms. Agreed. Let us make our way through abyssos, one careful step at a time. I shall stay by Richthonios' side in case the enemies think to target him again. Could I trouble you to take the vanguard? And I thank you. As a precaution, I shall safeguard you with a simple spell. This will ensure that even should we be separated, my phantom warriors will still come to your aid. If it does come to battle, the keyword's magics will put us at a disadvantage once again. Luckily, we have you, and even you to even this scale somewhat. I trust you shall be liberal with. I trust you will be liberal with your weight. Oh, so he's gonna. So now he's gonna give us this. So now he doesn't have to be there. So something's gonna happen to him that gets us separated. Abyssos, the fifth circle, is available now. Five circles. Oh, look at that. Already full except for one tank. Yes, part one of today's stream should be up. It's only 2 hours, so it's not as big or as long, but I did start later. I will, once again, if you didn't watch that part, I will make up the time on Saturday. Because I gotta cover the rising. Alright, Abyssos, the fifth circle, let's go. Oh, what? Whoa! Oh! Hey! Proto-carbuncle. Alright, let's summon the warriors. Alright, well we know there's... I think we have to be at this corner. Oh no, is this corner? Yeah. So, beyond... Oh, why'd you hurt yourself, dude? Okay, so we got... create walls on, I'm guessing, the lines here. Hello. Oh. I didn't see what that Oh. So I guess we go here. Yeah! Steering ray again behind him? Chomp. Oh, he's feral. Acid slaver. Down for the count? Oh no, he is an alien! Oh. Oh! 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 Ow. What the This way. Oh, hi. Whoa. Sonic Owl. Okay. Now put a bunch of AoEs on us. Ah. Chomp. Chomp. What? What? Oh. Oh, bitch. Cool. I thought we had to stand on those. I'm just like, do you have to block those points? No, those are AoE markers. Cool, we have to move. Hmm. Oh, what's we on this side? Oh, let's go! There he is. Seal this motherfucker. Oh, look at all the Venus fly traps. Caught another one. Alright, let me roll on these before people get mad. Ooh, I got 97 on that one. Let's go. Rolling. I got the chest! Haha, bitch. See ya. Hashtag no regrets. Okay, so this is where the research was conducted on the creations imbued with poisons and venoms. Ristonios and I were conveyed not far from here. It seems our foe is finding it more difficult to surprise us. Fortunately for you, since they appear particularly keen on having to see you dispatched as quickly as possible. Even alone, you are forced to be reckoned with. Part of me is glad you emerged victorious, that I may observe you further. It's La Brea. That's his mask. Well, the circumstance is different. I may thank you for keeping my son alive for this long, but I believe that we can forego the introductions, unless I have misread you. That's your mask. Say it. Yeah. La Brea. Passively perceptive. Yes, I am Laha Breyer of the Convocation of 14. If you truly are who you claim to be, then answer this question. That can wait. Oh, what is this? Now, this is curious. The trap I wove at your feet reacts to aether, but you remain unaffected. Such thin aether, and an unfamiliar composition besides. It is of no matter, I suppose. No matter, I suppose. A more direct approach will we get the same results. Oh. I would advise that you think carefully before deciding on your next action. Strike me down here, and Rich Thonios' wish shall remain unfulfilled. Never again shall he meet Athena. Mother? You would dare hide behind her name? Listen well, Rich Thonios. We are of the same mind concerning your mother. You have all your allies for protection. So what harm is there in hearing me out? Ritsthonios, wait! There's a question I need to ask first. If you truly are La Habrea, why speak such blatant lies? Bitter in defeat, are we? Say my name. A simple request. Themis, was it? A trifle soon forgotten, as you are. I have my answer. The Labrea that I knew took pride in the convocation and would never suffer its designation. You sully his station with this farce. That's not La Habrea. Themis, what are you saying? La Habrea and I hardly saw eye to eye, but know that but I know this voice when I hear it. Indeed, he makes a passing fine imitation in appearance and manner. However, the real La Habrea would never call me by the name Themis. Yeah, I knew it, because his name's Elidibus. There he is! Called it! Yes, I knew it! That Mrs. Elidibus. What troubles have you gotten yourself into, Elidibus? What the hell? Imposter, you have no right to claim that form, that mask. Ooh. What? Who? It was a mask that sickened me to wear. The mask of La Habrea, a man who values his position above all, who would murder his own wife in pursuit of duty. Yet you would assume my name and wield my powers that are mine by right. Any worthy man, or any worth you may have, hinges on that which you despise. Such trite provocations. I will not be goaded into finishing this ere my work is done. Richthonius. Listen well, I am Hephaestos. Hephaestos. Hephaestos? I am Hephaestos. And it is I whom you should call father. Oh. They do have the same, like, hair and eyes, I guess. What in the name of creation? We would do well not to stand idle while the enemy is about, and I believe explanation is in order, Elidibus. Let us return to safety so that you might prove it. Ah, that sounds more like the library I know. We knew that. I knew Themis was Elidibus. I didn't know that they would just name drop it so soon. I'm like, yeah, that's Elidibus. Before we depart, however, I must offer you an apology. As Labria said, I am Elidibus, one of the convocation and emissary of their will. For reasons which I do not involve you, it was necessary to hide my identity while investigating this place. Still, that hardly excuses my deception. I had a feeling. Your perceptiveness does not surprise me. When the time comes, I shall make my explanation all the easier to understand. In any case, we have pressing matters to attend to. Let us do as Lahabrea suggested and return to the gate. We will speak there. Distant voice. Please help him. Save him. Athena? Oh, hi, hi, Bread. I see Elidibus has chosen the to keep odd company, such a vexing composition of Aether you possess. Yeah, you say that. Still don't understand. As you're aware by now, I am known as Elidibus. After my dear friend Azim and I detected irregularities in Pandemonium, I decided the best course of action would be to hide my station as I conducted my investigation. I am sure Lahabrea as well is eager to find out why I hid who I was. So I shall save the story for later. First, I would like to speak to you, my friend. Although neither Azim nor I had ever met you in the flesh, you came here. You came with her highest recommendation. That alone is enough for me to accept you as an ally without question. That's somewhere in the world, a guiding star so similar to herself was out there amused Azim to no end. There was not a shade of doubt in her heart that you would be a formidable ally. Furthermore, I have heard stories of Mistress Vanna, who held the position of Azim previously, journeyed with a familiar much like yourself. That made the decision to trust you all the easier. She too now dons the white robes of an advisor. If she placed her absolute faith in you, I knew I would be in capable hands. Aware though I was of the path you had walked, I had no interest in exposing you. Merely wanted to meet you, to travel by your side for a while. I may know but a small portion of the whole story, but that is enough for me to believe you would never lead me astray. I wanted to tell you that. Let's get some direct hit. A keyword's Gowl. Ristonios is resolutely avoided. He's avoiding his father's gaze. He's like, I don't trust you. I don't know how long it's been since we last spoke, La Habrea, but truth be told, I had hoped that we never would again. But I see now that I was a fool to think that I would ever escape your meddling. Just what is this thing that called himself La Habrea? And why is he a spitting image of your younger self? I find it hard to believe that you've only now just found out such a being was wreaking havoc on Pandemonium. Did you think matters would not simply sort themselves out? I suppose you deserve at least a cursory explanation. I was well aware of the anomalies occurring within Pandemonium, including the fact that Asm and Elidibus had taken it upon themselves to investigate. I saw no reason to insert myself into the situation, for a time, that was. Imagine my surprise when, instead of a formal report from you and yours, I received a communication from one of the keywords stating that research and operations were proceeding as usual. Well, Hephaestios' deception was almost childish in its simplicity. It's become plain to me that your grasp of the situation was slipping. So you knew of his existence from the beginning? I can hardly imagine that you would suffer another to masquerade as one of the convocation. Not without good reason, at least. As you all know, the name La Habrea is but a marker for my station. 'Tis not the name I was born with. True. Hephaestios has claimed that for himself. I cannot fault him for it. As he is my other half, in a manner of speaking. He knows all that I know, my equal in every way, yet within his heart is not but greed, envy, and desire, all the emotions that we are loath to acknowledge within ourselves. If what you say is true, what purpose would such a being serve? He is a product of experimentation gone awry. A reminder of the days when I was young and reckless. I thought him sealed away for good, but it seems that he has a way of unearthing the shame we bury. His buried memory. Wink, wink, no nudge. When he spoke of my mother, he looked at you with the venom in his eyes, blamed you for her death. Tell me, was he right to do so? His words were but the ramblings of a tortured mind. The hatred and despair he endures has warped his view of the world irreversibly. And now that he has awakened, he must be put to rest. If he succeeds in breaching Pandemonium's protective wards, he will invite disaster unto our star. As chief keyword of Pandemonium, it is my duty to decide the proper course of action. As such, I declare that all research shall be summarily abandoned and the facility destroyed. What? You would leave the other warders to their doom? 'Tis a choice befitting La Habrea. Do you disagree? You speak of duty, and ours is to guide our star to its and its inhabitants upon the correct course. It is no surprise that you would choose annihilation or Pandemonium, if the existence posed even the remotest risks to our people. Yet, as you can see by Richthonius' response, the decision is somewhat more nuanced than that. Asim and I grappled with the conundrum for some time, in fact. That is precisely why I chose to involve myself directly. It was the only way I could truly determine the best solution. You need not trouble yourself with that further. The chief keyword must prevent the worst from occurring, no matter the cost. Your feelings, Elizabeth, are of no consequence. Have you taken even a moment to consider another path? No. You spared nary a thought for aught but yourself and your duty. You have no idea of the trials that we've endured, the foes that Dragoon has stood against. Dragoon, is it? Being a being of such aether as I have never seen. What are you? She is the guiding star that shall lead us safely through this. Thanks to her stout arm and steadfast courage, we have subdued the mythic creations and returned them to their cells. Speaking of which, I would hear your opinion, Dragoon. As outsiders, we are in a unique position to look upon the circumstances with our vision unclouded by attachment. It's too soon to give up on saving the others. Agreed. We still know next to nothing about Hephaestos, and I highly doubt La Habrea has been forthcoming with the truth. And we've managed to regain control of Asphodelios, which must be made to see that there's merit in continuing this path. I have it. Speak in your official capacity as Elidibus the Emissary. Judge which approach is more sound, and even La Habrea would be compelled to listen. As Elidibus, I am duty-bound to assess the matter from a position of impartiality. My opinion, as Themis, can carry no weight. You understand what that means, yes? I do. Even so, you've walked with us all this time. Seeing what we've seen, based on that alone, I trust that you'll find the best way forward. Very well. Then in my capacity as emissary, I shall state my judgment. At present, there are merits in both destroying Pandemonium outright and in taking time to rescue the researchers. Neither is yet an impossible task. Therefore, I judge that the most measured choice would be to continue upon our present course. We delve into abyssos, ensuring any mythic creations we encounter all along the way. You have yet to witness Dragoon's might and Aristonius' resolve. I would ask that you see our capabilities firsthand, and only then decide if your endeavor is futile. If such is the will of the emissary, then I shall obey. However, if indeed I find your strength to be lacking, I trust there will be no objections to the immediate destruction of Pandemonium. You needn't worry about that. We won't fail. You are bolder than I remember. And you're even more tedious than I remember. Dragoon, come find me when you're finished. He's so pouty. He's like, I don't know what to do. Aristonius is understandably frustrated, but if you're to conquer Abyssos, we must go forth with clear heads. Pray, lend an ear to his troubles, that their weight might be lightened. Where'd you go? You do have my gratitude, ill fit as I am to show you at the moment. Without your words to sway him, La Habrea would have carried on his plan without a second thought. The hippocampus. When we first realized the creations had slipped their bonds, the other keywords did all in their power to restore order. Even though they could have chosen escape, they remained to aid their allies. I'm certain not a soul among them would have wished to see this facility erased from the world. And they don't deserve to be abandoned for simply carrying out their duty. And besides, Hespasios has secrets yet untold. Secrets that would be buried if Pandemonium were reduced to rubble. And I mean to uncover the truth behind his words. The truth of my mother. True. While Library was quick to dismiss his claims, I failed to see what Hespasios would gain from fabricating such a story. All I was told was about my mother's death was that she perished in an accident. No one would say more. It was almost as if they feared saying more, in fact. Even if it was not La Habrea that dealt the final blow, we've seen with our own eyes how quickly he can condemn others to die. I only wish to know at last what befell her. What do you think, Dragoon? Does the La Habrea you know have any regard for lives or others, or will he carry out his duty with another's blood on his hands? He's always a man that works in the shadows. Well, that in and of itself isn't reason for suspicion. He's one of the convocation, who must forge a path for mankind. Naturally, not all of their activities are conducted within the public eye. But it is plain that there is much to consider. Thank you, Dragoon. It's easy for me to get carried away by emotions when he's concerned. We should focus on the task at hand, proving to La Habrea that we are capable of saving Pandemonium and its keepers. The most convincing way would be to regain control of Abyssos. Although I'm loath to admit it, he would know more about those deaths than any of us, and seeing as how we require every advantage we can afford, Dragoon, would you mind speaking to him for us? He seems to have a special interest in your capabilities, and may deign to help at your suggestion, if only to see what you can do. You got boy problems. You're a bad father, you know that? Restonius appears to have a deep trust in you, and Elidibus tells me you share the same relation to Azum. Or you share a relation. Your unusual aether does not mark you as familiar. It is unlike anything I have seen. even though the countless concepts I have observed, even among them. To think that I would encounter an existence I could not create by my own hand. Asm never ceases to surprise. The previous Asm was much the same, and taking an eternity for the star into consideration, she came to hold dear emotions and people that are more logical minded who have discarded. This made her act in her own self-interest more often than not. Just as you and Elizabeth have conducted themselves, conducted yourselves on this matter, the true danger of Asm's nature is its tendency to infect all of those who come into contact with. Emmett Selk said much the same. Trust that I shall do not that would violate my duty. Like, boy, that Asm, once you hang out with that person, hard not to be friends with them. And yet you fervently invoked your authority as emissary to justify this little excursion. It matters little, however. Only your deeds can speak for you now. You wish to know more about Abyssos, I take it? Although I am no longer in control of many of its functions. I can yet sense what creations lie within. And my battery's low, but yesterday I didn't change my controller for a while and it's still good, so I should be good for this fight. Chip keyword reached the chip keywords reaches far indeed. Well then, what do we have to look forward to? I sense no creation of note. Perhaps they have made it fodder for experimentations, or perhaps they have been transferred into deeper circles. Yet, Hephaestus would never allow you safe passage. He has left a trial for you to overcome. I speak of Hegemon. Hegemon, keyword of Abyssos. Although her presence is stained with marks of corruption, it is unmistakable. Okay, we're facing a girl. Great. I knew her as a woman gifted with magics and blessings of with a highly logical mind. While I can sense those qualities within her still, there is something else at work. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say that that's because she's already been twisted by into Hemethios, doubtless against her will. Jerry and Themis, we must rescue her from that cruel fate, and if we cannot, we can at least seal her away until we find the means to undo the damage. Your allies make you bold, Richthonius. I very much look forward to seeing how far they carry you. Alright. 6th circle, let's go. Oh, what's the eye level? 585, damn. My boy's online now. Sup? Webs. Ugh. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh. Emoji. Wait, oh. Oh. Chronos X. You. Oh. Ah, you gotta watch her. Okay. Okay. You did it twice. Dark 4. Rot from inside. Wow. Glomps. What? I have a snake! 5, 4, 3. I'm just gonna get away from everyone. Out of control. What? Oh! Face out. Ah? That's cool. Oh no. Where is it? Oh. Transmission. Oh no! Don't disease me. Oh. No. This way. Ah! Ah! I'm gonna switch. Hey, learning! I'm learning. Cool fight. Uh-oh. Oh, I wasn't even looking at her. Crafty. Oh, she's spinning. Ah! Hey! What the hell? I wasn't even in the fucking range. Bullshit. Oh shit, I was not in range, I swear to Christ. Those things are so narrow, how are you supposed to know? Get shot. Keyword Owl is complete. We've won! The keyword is sealed and alive this time. Library can't deny us now. Maybe. She got 2 more fights to go. Servant of Violence. Violence! Our plan was a success, although I hardly need to tell you that. Hegemon has been sealed away, and now you have no choice but to admit that there is merit to our methods. You have the right of it. I am not so petty as to deny the achievements of those I've squabbled with, no matter how strongly we disagree. Moreover, this being, Aether then is no retreating mist, and able to wield creation magics, yet powerful enough to subdue a Hemathios, has made this ordeal far more interesting. Oh, now he's just more interested in us? Then we have leave to continue? As for that, there is one among you whose very presence puts the others at risk. Truly best to proceed without him, for failure would have consequences that reach far beyond pandemonium. And of whom do you speak? A warder who cannot even conduct his duty without aid. In this place, hope alone is not enough to overcome what awaits you. A single misstep will send all to their doom. Oh, you. But he's been practicing. So long as we do, so long as each do their part and look to their allies to their side, even a neophyte can and upraise his companions. There's something that Dragoon and Themis thought. That's something Dragoon and Themis taught me. While I do not wish to express any bias, I am inclined to agree. If my investigation has made anything clear, is that we are together greater than the sum of our parts. And hope has brought us this far. It drives us to seek the right path and to act before the path lies closed to us. Then tell me, what is it you hope for? To see Hispanios in chains. That is the surest way to prevent further sacrifices. I'm aware that destroying Pandemonium would rid us of him, but the cost is far too great. And I admit, I wish to know how he means to resurrect Athena. And there we have it. You must leave this place at once, and do not think of set foot in Pandemonium again. You are capable, that much is plain, yet Hespasios cannot be suffered to live, and I shall not allow his talk of resurrection to poison mine or anyone else's mind. Life flows in a cycle, this is known. All souls return to the underworld, and Athena's is no exception. She has likely found a new vessel and a new journey to embark upon. You cannot be ignorant into the folly of Hephaestus' words. I don't know why I want to call him something else. Even were he to breathe life into a body, the soul contained within would not be of your mother's. What if our knowledge is imperfect? What if Hephaestus has discovered something that no one else has? He knows all that He knows all that you do, understands the bitter reality of the world. He wouldn't pursue the impossible. Think, Ristonios. As I have already explained that he is merely my twisted reflection. He is... It is worth... Is it worth bringing back your mother if it means others are used and discarded like tools? Is it worth it to see her once more? Now you measure the worth of your colleagues' lives? What was that foolish braying about saving them? Merely a performance to hide your childish devotion to your mother? Please, such barbs will get us nowhere. We should discuss... You would call me fool? You who murdered your wife in service of your ambition, for sake of the star, no doubt? Oh. I can hear it again. That voice inside my head. I know who to follow. Hespasios, father! Mother, oh, I love you so, and this voice will guide me to you. Uh-oh. No, listen not, Aristonios. Apologies, you taught me that a calm heart stays the course, but I couldn't never even grasp the rudder. Uh-oh. Lobis, what the fuck? That was Hespasios' work. There can be no doubt. It seems we've learned of his, he learned from his previous failure. Okay. We're all just like, Hespasios is cunning despite his warped mind. Whatever took hold of Ristonios is made short work of his reason. For the moment, from the moment he laid eyes on me, he could sense his hatred and rage simmering below the surface. Or I could sense it. 'Twas but a matter of time before it spilled forth. And that was when he fell into the spell's embrace. A magic woven with such skill that Ristonios himself failed to notice until it was too late. If this is the measure of Hespasios' power, then the other keyword had little chance to resist. We saw his work during our encounter with Hesperos. Doubtless Hespasios, as his magic fed his admiration and envy until there was room for naught else in his heart. And there we have something else besides. Did you not feel the presence of another? As I thought, someone was trying to warn Ristonios, but whom? Could it have been one of the keywords? Alas, their warning arrives too late. I had already provoked Ristonios past the point of no return. I bear the burden for this failure. In my stubbornness, I could but scorn the boy, and Hespasios knew that. And now I dread to think of the ordeal that awaits him due to my rashness. Well, now you have to continue on the course to save him. Yep. There is time yet to save him. We can easily regain control of Abyssos, giving us a firm foothold over which to brave Pandemonium's lowest level. The enemy is within reach. Just as with Hesperos, Richthonios is in danger of being consumed by Hespasios' spell. Oh, Lord. All these fucking names. However, I have faith that he will not easily lose sight of himself. The way forward is clear. La Habrea, pray tell to us all that you know that what she will find beyond Abyssos. I can only assume one more keyword lies in wait. The deepest level of pandemonium is called Tartaros. Tartaros, and your passage shall be challenging by not only a keyword. Hespasios has laid traps in every corner of the halls. He has no hope of surviving. You have no hope of surviving past the threshold. That I expected, but where Dragoon shall shine. Her dissolute aether shall allow her to slip through the traps unimpeded. We saw it when Hephaestus had no effect, and doubtless even he has yet to devise a countermeasure. Right, he did it based on aether, but our aether is so thin it doesn't activate the trap. The time is of the essence. Hephaestus was already well aware that you can match a keyword in battle. He will not stand idle while you stroll past the other defenses at your leisure. Agreed. However, charity will be indispensable to our success, and I'm afraid I must insist upon it ere we depart. We have yet to discern to what end Hephaestus would use Richthonios. If you know, I would ask that you enlighten us. And then there's the matter of Athena. Why do you so fiercely rebuke Richthonios' feelings for his mother? While I understand the very thought of resurrecting the dead is anathema, you act as if grief over her passing should be equally so. How are we to grapple with the plagues of our friends and drives our foe if you refuse to acknowledge it? I do acknowledge it. I only wish to spare those that feel its still greater pain. Do you mean to with your silence? So instead of being honest, you bicker like a child? So instead of being honest, you bicker like a child? How dare you? No, you are right. The blame of Richthonios' fate rests squarely on my shoulders. Exactly. Very well, I shall lay bare the truth, but only after the foe before us has been laid low. The remaining keyword is Angustus. She has served in Pandemonium since its inception, and her affinity for magic is peerless even among the keywords. Hephaestus knows that losing her would mean the end of his experiments. He has hidden her in a place unreachable by conventional means. But your presence makes mockery of such barriers. The scarcity of your aether means it will be trivial to send you directly to Agdistus. We shall approach as closely as caution will allow. We know where the battle will commence, so I do not anticipate difficulty in detecting your presence. From afar, I shall do my best to provide you with ground on which to fight. Fight and phantom allies to aid you. As for your internment, I have yet to think of a foolproof method. Yeah, Lahabra is going to do it. Internment shall not be necessary. From here, I can sense Agnes's essence. It is scarcely recognizable. Hephaestus was more ambitious with her than he was with Hegemon. She has been transfigured such that barely a scantling of herself remains. We can but take comfort in what a mercy the underworld will be to her. Oh, basically we just gotta kill it. Because it's been bastardized. He's like, we don't need to capture it, we just need to kill it. The seventh circle. You forgot about those? Good lord. You were excited for them! Seventh circle. Oh, come on. Here we go. Ooh. Oh, tree. Pog. Okay, this is from the trailer. Oh my god, yeah, she is not healthy. Holy shit. Yeah, there's no capturing that thing. Did a wallball? Whoa! Holy! Forward. Okay. Ow.